Welcome back to day 3 of a picture book of Frederick Douglass. Today is our final day of reading. Okay, our vocabulary words. The first word is the word autobiography. Remember that this book is a biography. Bio means life and graph means writing. Auto means self. So an autobiography is a book a person writes about his or her own life. The next word is the word prejudice. Prejudice means judgment we make before we think about the facts. The prefix pre means before. The root word comes from the word judge. Prejudice is a bad way of thinking. Okay, choral reading. Please make sure that you are, just as always, reading along with me, following along on your page. As we read together, find out more about Frederick Douglass and Abraham Lincoln. On April 12th, 1861, the 4-year-long Civil War between the Northern Union Army and the Southern Confederate Army began. It was the war that ended slavery in the United States. In 1863, Frederick Douglass helped gather soldiers for the first black unit in the Union Army. 3 of his sons joined. But Frederick Douglass soon learned that black soldiers were paid much less than whites and were given poor equipment and little training. He told this to President Lincoln. The president told Frederick Douglass to be patient. Progress in the rights of African Americans would come slowly. 8 months after the Confederate Army was defeated, the 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution was passed. Slavery was outlawed. In 1864, Abraham Lincoln was re-elected president. In March 1865, after the inauguration, Frederick Douglass went to the White House to shake the president's hand. At first, he was not allowed in because he was African American. President Lincoln had him shown in, and as he entered the hall, the president said, "Here comes my friend Douglass." Several weeks later, on April 14th, President Lincoln was shot. He died the next day. Frederick Douglass wrote 2 more books about his life. My Bondage and My Freedom, published in 1855, and The Life and Times of Frederick Douglass, published in 1881. In 1877, he was named Marshal, and in 1881, Recorder of Deeds for Washington, D.C. In 1889, he was named Consul General to Haiti. In 1882, Anna Douglass died. 2 years later, Frederick married Helen Pitts, a white woman. Both blacks and whites were upset by the marriage. Helen Pitts told people that she had married the man she loved. Frederick Douglass told people that his first wife was black, like his mother. His second wife was white, like his father. During his last years, Frederick Douglass spoke out against the mob violence and lynchings of African Americans in the South. He wrote that every Southern breeze was tainted and freighted with Negro blood. Frederick Douglass had helped lead the struggle to end slavery. He had hoped to see blacks and whites throughout the United States living together in peace. He never did. On February 20th, 1895, after attending a meeting on women's rights, Frederick had a heart attack and died. He was 77 years old. So here are some important dates. He was born in 1818. He died in 1895. And it says, for the author's note, the birth date of Frederick Douglass and other dates during his slave years are based on current research. A few differ with those given in earlier books, including his autobiography. But even Frederick Douglass was open about his uncertainty concerning them. He once wrote, I do not remember to have ever met a slave who could tell his own birthday. They seldom come nearer to it than planting time, harvest time, cherry time, springtime, or fall time. Frederick Douglass was known as Frederick Johnson for a very short while, probably no more than 2 weeks, but it was during that time that he was married. His marriage certificate therefore reads, joined together in holy matrimony, Frederick Johnson and Anna Murray. Soon after that, in New Bedford, Massachusetts, Frederick changed his name again because he found that the surname Johnson was very common there. In fact, at the time, he was staying at the home of a family named Johnson. The name Douglass was taken from a character in the popular novel The Lady of the Lake by Sir Walter Scott. So remember, as we read the first part, we are thinking about Frederick Douglass and his relationship with Abraham Lincoln. So you can reread that last part that we just read. This time when you reread, think about how Frederick Douglass spent his time after the Civil War. For your assignment today, I would like for you to use autobiography and prejudice in super sentences. You'll need to go through and find them in your bookworms. It should say day 3 of Frederick Douglass. Also, pretend you could write a message to Frederick Douglass and send it back in time. What would you like to tell him? So I'm going to give each one of you a Google Doc, and I would like for you to fill that out as part of your assignment. I'll see everyone Monday. Have a great day.